really good week this week as we wrap up week 2. Sprigs are 13, 14 days old at this point. Doing an amazing job. I like to title this section The Awakening, as that's exactly what it is on these greens. As soon as that grass, those first couple weeks, water, roots, and then all of a sudden it just blows up and pops and awakes. And now we got grass growing, we're mowing, we're top dressing, we're doing all those things. Okay, so your sprigs are 2 weeks old. They're starting to grow, they're starting to root down. What's the next step? How do you take it? When do you know it's time to mow? Well, I think when you feel like the surface is smooth enough to be able to get any type of machinery or roller on there, you do. And that's what we did. We took the greens mowers that you just saw, we rolled without the reels engaged, try to roll the surface a couple times, get a little bit smoother. And then we come in with walk mowers, and then we mow at a high to cut just to try to start cutting it down. Because at a certain point, if it's not cutting actually helps speed up the growth process. Same thing with verticutting on a different level, but it definitely speeds up the process. So as soon as you can get on them and mow them, I would say do it, and that's what we did here. So what's the real goal with mowing in these first couple weeks or these first few days after establishment like this? It's really just to kind of clean up the surface. A lot of those dead runners and material that came with the sprigging process like this right here will just need to be cut, clipped off, give it a fresh start. You can see we're probably not mowing at the same height as we would on an established putting green, which makes a lot of sense. We're mowing these at 1/4 of an inch at this time. With this grass, TifEagle grass will be able to get to 1/10 of an inch, even lower. But we want to take that process down slowly, gradually. As they continue to fill in to get more and more density, we will lower the height of cut. So what's the real purpose behind the top dressing? As you see, a portion of the green is done and hadn't been done. You kind of see here, you got voids, you got some uneven surface, a lot of exposed growing portions of the plant. That all that top dressing sand will do when it is drug in is kind of fill in those holes, give those growing points a nice contact with the soil to be able to continue to spread out. So after the first top dress and drag on 10 green, really good uniform sand coverage, nice growing medium for that TifEagle to really root down and tack and start spreading out horizontally. I know last week we talked about fertilizer being applied through the irrigation system, my fertigation. And, as that plant's new and, not a lot to it just yet, we were supplying, nitrogen, phosphorus to the plant to kind of get it going. Now that we're mowing and top dressing and getting on them a little bit, we can start speeding up that process and give it a little bit more nutrition. It's just like a baby or a human. When it starts out, you're not going to feed it milk the rest of its life. So as it starts to grow and develop, you're going to give it the nutrients and the fertilizers that it's going to need to do that and mature. So one of the biggest misconceptions of guys and I was probably part of that back 20, 25 years ago growing in greens, was that you had to apply 1 to 2 pounds of nitrogen every single week. And if you know about nitrogen, it's basically for leaf growth and pushes, production of leaves. And well, that's good, but you also want to focus on, the underground portions and the entire plant, not just the leaf production, because it can actually speed up the process too much and be negative. And then especially when you open, you got this luscious grass with big fat leaves, and you're trying to putt on it and you're probably getting a 5 on the stent meter or something crazy, even at lower heights of cut. It's just not good for the golfer, not good for the long term of the green. So that's why we want to apply everything that we do, and you see it with the sprays, that we apply a really balanced product with a lot of different products that'll energize the plant and speed up the natural process and not overproduce or stuff like that. So that's part of it. We'll be spraying probably every 5 or 6 days as that plant matures, and then as it gets fuller and fuller towards 100% density, we'll kind of start backing off a little bit of those rates and get it to regular maintenance rates. But right now it's all about water, mow, sand, fertilizer, repeat. Just keep it going. We'll push density as much as we can and hopefully get to the next phase, which will be trying to get on them and verticut them and smooth out the surface a little bit more. So look forward to next time. See you guys later.